Rise to YouTube fame. Ruby Franke gained widespread recognition in 2015 when she launched the YouTube channel 8 Passengers with her husband, Kevin Franke. The channel centered around their large, devoutly religious family, offering a glimpse into the daily routines, parenting strategies, and life lessons within their household of 6 children. Marketed as wholesome, structured, and morally grounded, the channel quickly attracted a massive audience, amassing millions of subscribers and views. Ruby positioned herself as a devoted mother, upholding strict parenting values rooted in discipline, obedience, and faith. Her approach earned her the label of a momfluencer, a maternal figure whose online influence shaped the parenting choices of many followers. However, her methods often sparked debate. While some viewers praised her for setting boundaries and instilling responsibility in her children, others raised concerns over what they saw as excessive control and emotionally damaging practices. These included withholding meals, public shaming of her kids in videos, and enforcing rigid consequences for misbehavior. Despite mounting criticism and visible warning signs, Ruby maintained a loyal fan base for years, largely due to her consistent presentation of order, morality, and motherhood as central pillars of family life. Growing public concern. As Ruby Franke's YouTube channel, 8 Passengers, gained popularity, the tone of public reaction began to shift. What was initially perceived as firm and principled parenting slowly revealed disturbing undertones that alarmed viewers. Ruby's disciplinary tactics, once admired by some for their structure, increasingly drew accusations of emotional and physical neglect. She was criticized for publicly shaming her children in videos, enforcing harsh punishments such as removing their beds for extended periods, restricting access to food, and sending one of her sons to a remote wilderness camp without clear justification. These actions led many to question the line between discipline and abuse. Child advocates, mental health professionals, and concerned viewers voiced fears that Ruby's parenting crossed ethical and potentially legal boundaries.
God, I will be so mad!
Rather than softening her approach in response to growing backlash, Ruby became more entrenched in her beliefs. She frequently used religious language to justify her methods, framing extreme punishments as necessary for spiritual growth and moral correction. Around this time, she also formed a partnership with Jodi Hildebrandt, a controversial counselor with a reputation for promoting extreme behavioral control under the guise of personal accountability. Their collaboration only intensified concerns as the pair began producing content that emphasized obedience, sin, and emotional isolation as tools for raising children, raising even more red flags about the environment behind the camera. The shocking escape. The situation escalated to national attention on August 30th, 2023, marking the dramatic unraveling of Ruby Franke's public image. On that day, her 12-year-old son managed to escape from the residence of Jodi Hildebrandt in Evans, Utah, where he had reportedly been living under Ruby's arrangement. The boy was in a severely malnourished state, with visible open wounds, and his wrists and ankles were bound with duct tape. In a desperate attempt to survive, he knocked on a neighbor's door and pleaded for food and water, prompting the resident to contact authorities immediately. When police arrived on the scene, they not only confirmed the boy's injuries and distress, but also found another of Ruby's children, a daughter, inside the home, who was also suffering from signs of neglect and abuse. Both children were rushed into protective custody under the supervision of Utah's Division of Child and Family Services. The evidence was so immediate and alarming that within a matter of hours, both Ruby Franke and Jodi Hildebrandt were arrested, each facing multiple felony counts of aggravated child abuse. The shocking details of the children's conditions shattered the wholesome, family-oriented persona Ruby had cultivated online and revealed a far darker reality behind the camera. Horrifying details emerge. As authorities delved deeper into the case, the investigation uncovered a disturbing and systematic pattern of both physical and psychological abuse inflicted on Ruby Franke's children. Evidence and witness testimony revealed that the children were routinely tied up with ropes, often left immobilized for extended periods, and subjected to extreme deprivation. They were denied food for days at a time, and in some cases, forced to perform strenuous manual labor outdoors without shoes, even in extreme heat. Injuries caused by restraints, such as cuts and abrasions, were not treated with proper medical care, but instead covered with home remedies like cayenne pepper and honey, causing additional pain and risk of infection. Among the most horrifying claims were that Ruby kicked her son while wearing boots, smothered him by covering his mouth and nose, and told him that his suffering was a necessary part of repentance for perceived wrongdoing. Psychological torment was a recurring element of the abuse, with Ruby allegedly labeling her children as sinful or evil and justifying punishments as spiritual correction. Perhaps most chillingly, handwritten journals and personal notes later seized by law enforcement included entries in which Ruby described the abuse as training and even referred to one particularly abusive day as a big day for evil. These writings revealed a deeply disturbing mindset, one in which severe cruelty was not only rationalized but at times celebrated, offering a glimpse into the warped beliefs that fueled the long-term mistreatment of her children. Legal proceedings and sentencing. After disturbing admissions and accumulating evidence, Ruby Franke and Jody Hildebrandt were charged with 6 charges of felony aggravated child abuse in September 2023. Ruby's children were subjected to many instances of extreme neglect, physical restriction, and emotional abuse. Both women accepted a plea deal in December 2023, pleading guilty to 4 of 6 charges and having the other 2 counts dismissed. Ruby was sentenced to 4 consecutive jail terms of 1 to 15 years in February 2024, meaning she might serve up to 30 years in prison depending on parole and conduct. Ruby looked emotional in court and said Hildebrandt coerced and heavily influenced her, portraying herself as a victim rather than the perpetrator. Prosecutors and child advocates stressed her active involvement in the assault and her long-term concealment. A mother known for her tough love parenting and moral discipline fell dramatically and irreversibly after the sentencing. A trusted family vlogger had become a cautionary story of power, delusion, and cruelty disguised as goodness. Fallout within the family. The case shattered Ruby Franke's family's cohesiveness and the 8 Passengers brand. Her husband, Kevin Franke, who regularly featured with Ruby in their movies, filed for divorce shortly after her imprisonment. He openly asserted that he was unaware of the entire nature of the abuse, but critics questioned how such serious torture went unchecked in the household. Shari Franke, their eldest daughter, had already distanced herself from the family before the crisis and became a significant justice advocate. She was one of the first to tell authorities that her younger siblings were in danger, and later revealed in media interviews that her mother had worn a mask of righteousness, using religion and discipline to hide emotional and physical abuse behind closed doors. Shari revealed years of dysfunction hidden by smiles and polished internet material. Ruby's sisters, several of whom are renowned YouTubers and lifestyle influencers, denounced her acts in public remarks. They showed anguish, outrage, and bewilderment, denying knowing about the assault and providing assistance to the children. The family's public unraveling revealed profound personal cracks and the long-term damage caused by destructive family dynamics hidden behind a managed and monetized online identity. Public reaction and cultural impact. The Ruby Franke scandal sparked widespread public outrage and ignited nationwide debates about the ethics of family vlogging, the exploitation of children online, and the dangers of performative parenting in the digital age. As details of the abuse surfaced, critics pointed to the role of platforms like YouTube, which had long monetized content featuring children without sufficient oversight. Many argued that these platforms created an environment where abusive behavior could be disguised as parenting and rewarded with views, sponsorships, and financial gain. Franke's case became a chilling example of how carefully edited videos and curated family images can mask deep dysfunction and harm. Influencers, child advocates, and lawmakers began calling for stricter regulations on family channels, including limits on child exposure, mandatory reporting mechanisms, and legal protections to prevent children from being exploited for profit. Ruby Franke's fall from grace highlighted the disturbing gap between public persona and private reality, serving as a stark warning about the illusions of perfection on social media and their urgent need to safeguard the well-being of children caught in the spotlight. Where things stand now. As of 2025, Ruby Franke is serving her prison sentence in a Utah State Correctional Facility, Following her conviction for multiple counts of aggravated child abuse, her 6 children have been placed under the care of Child Protective Services or entrusted to relatives, where they are reportedly receiving counseling and support as they recover from the trauma. Jody Hildebrandt, Ruby's former business partner and co-defendant, is also incarcerated, serving an identical sentence. The once thriving 8 Passengers YouTube channel has been permanently deleted, erasing years of family content that had been marketed as wholesome and inspirational. The channel's former fan base has since recoiled in shock, horror, and disbelief as the truth behind the curated content came to light. Ruby's dramatic downfall has become a defining case study in the dangers of influencer culture, particularly in the realm of family vlogging, where parental control, religious extremism, and the quest for public validation created a perfect storm for unchecked abuse. Her story continues to be cited in media, legal discussions, and academic research as a stark reminder of what can happen when power, image, and influence override empathy, responsibility, and accountability, especially when children are involved. Thanks for watching and subscribing channel.